promotion documents for many institutions and served as external examiner for some institutions. He serves as a continuous and ad hoc reviewer for several reputable academic journals. Professor Edward Brenya is happily married to Patricia, and they are blessed with 3 adorable children, Edward, Jude, and Angelina. Dear colleagues, friends, help me welcome Professor Edward Brenya, the chairman of the Governing Council of KsTU, to give us his response as the chairman for this August occasion. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Professor Abner, for such a wonderful introduction. Nana, I can only remember the Jata the Third, so forgive me. Aguna Wamosi Chief, Honorable, and my brother Amo Kamal, MC for Askra. The Vice Chancellor and former Vice Chancellors present, members of University Council present, senior management and other members of staff, heads of institutions, alumni of the university, members of the press, students, parents, guardians, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is with great honor and immense pride that I welcome you all to Kumasi Technical University for this historic alumni homecoming, which is one of the important events in the architecture of the 70th anniversary celebration. We've gathered here today for a sample of a very significant purpose: to celebrate a legacy, to reconnect as a family, and to honor 70 years of transformation. This occasion brings together generations of alumni, some of whom are captains of industry, members of governments, academics, and friends of the university. It is indeed a moment of interaction, reunion, reflection, and renewed commitment to the growth and advancement of Kumasi Technical University. Today's events offer us the needed opportunity to gather and reminiscence about days in this institution, and also see how far our alma mater has come. This is to have first-hand information regarding the achievement of this great institution over the past 70 years, and appreciate the invaluable contribution of alumni, partners, and also to reaffirm the responsibility in shaping the future of this university. As chair of the Governing Council and chairman for this occasion, I see this gathering not only as a celebration, but also a platform to strengthen the bond between the university and its alumnus, deepen partnership, and inspire continued support for the development of Kumasi Technical University. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, your presence here today is a clear demonstration of your commitment to this institution, and we are deeply grateful. Kumasi Technical University has come this far because of our collective efforts, and it will even go further due to the continued collaboration. On these notes, I once again want to welcome all of you to this beautiful campus of Kumasi Technical University, and also to gladly accept the responsibility to chair this occasion. I ask that you have fun while simultaneously thinking about creative ways to facilitate the advancement of this great institution. Welcome and thank you.
Onsambona yare. Oh. Chairman akasa say na abo nsem a. Ya wie chiri wia o nti bo nsem kesna mu so wa ha. When we are about to start the show, I pray that there should not be light out. I have a reason of praying. Enra omudum light over bia mete no. Na uhuru mpa. Ena papa bi say nso no kogina mangudua bia se wo yefie anim wo se wo dware. Yefie no so wo na bunti obi atwama wo hu. Papa no ro no ho de sem na ye nanim di nso ogu ntima na so light no. Afi wo hu ni nso no ohu bia won kata na wo yesi anu ayesi, wo yesi anu ayesi. Ye to aso. Prof, we are grateful for your acceptance to be the chair. We are here to support you. And I know God has accepted you as a chair and has accepted the program to be in good faith. If you are here with us, you are also a chairman yourself. But when someone also adhere to be part of today's program. Hey. Okay. The next person to be here at the back of this podium and speak to us is the father of the school, the vice chancellor of Kumasi Technical University. The man, the school is on his shoulders. The man, because of him, we are all gathered here this afternoon. He was with us in the morning section, and he continued to be with us till the end, God willing, tomorrow's program. I'm talking about the Professor Gabriel Jumo, the Vice Chancellor of Kumasi Technical University, with a standing ovation. Let's give it to him before he gets here.
Thank you very much, MC. Now that we have chairman for this occasion, it means our program is now complete and we can proceed in that regard. My job is very simple: to welcome you and also to give you the reason why we are here. Chairman of the University Governing Council, who also doubles as the chairman of this occasion, other members of the University Governing Council, the MC for Asqua, my good friend Amo Kamel, who was also my student at the Entrepreneurship Department in Finance, Nanano, key officers and other senior management members of the university, the interim chairman and other executives of the Alumni Association, past VCs and pro-VCs here present, deans and directors, faculty and other members of the university, invited guests, the media, distinguished alumni, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is with immense pride and a deep sense of privilege that I stand before you to welcome all of you to today's alumni homecoming, which forms part of the clamors of our 70th anniversary celebration. Looking around this afternoon, Professor Chairman, I see the excitement on the faces of our alumni members. Whether you graduated when you were a technical institute, a polytechnic, or since our transition to a technical university, you are parts of the success and growth of our university. Professor Chairman, today, we open our gates not just to welcome former students, but to the very pillars upon which the reputation of this institution rests. On behalf of the Chancellor and the Chairman of the Governing Council, who is also the Chairman of this occasion, I welcome all of you back to the heart of the Garden City. Professor Chairman, The purpose of today's gathering could be classified into threefold. One, to reconnect with old friends, mentors, and the campus that shaped you. Two, we want you to see how your alma mater has evolved. That is from expanded infrastructure to new cutting-edge programs and international collaborations. This is an opportunity to witness the growth of the KsTU brand. The university currently runs more than 40 master's programs and 4 doctoral programs in engineering and applied sciences. Well, Chairman, I'm glad to report to the members of the Alumni Association that based on the famous KS World Universities ranking released last month, their alma mater was adjudged as the best technical university in Ghana and the 4th best university out of more than 80 universities in the country. Three, Professor Chairman, we also want to build a legacy of support. That's why we have gathered here. We are here to formalize a partnership with our alumni members where their assistance can help address our infrastructure gap, particularly the health needs of our staff and students. Professor Chairman, with this motive, the university, as part of the clamors of this 70th anniversary, has set in motion the construction of a health facility meant to meet the needs of the growing numbers of our students. As part of today's program, we will show the video version of the proposed facility, and we will plead for all of us gathered here to contribute to this cause. To conclude, Professor Chairman, I want to encourage our alumni members that as they walk the campus path over the few days, they will be here. I encourage them to share their success stories with our current students. Let them see the value of obtaining KsTU certificates parts in your lives. Let us use this homecoming not just to look forward with fondness, but to look forward with a shared vision for the future of technical education in Ghana. Once again, welcome home. May this gathering be fruitful, joyful, and the start of a new chapter in our collective history. Thank you.
Pacho bawon sam ye pa. Ara komo de mo ana. E ma mu nsuo no. Ashes pacho mo fa nsuo nko rounds why? Prof, we are grateful for your motive for the school. Sport na kind of crowd every day. We need a sport team here, Kumasi Technical University. We are moving forward. The next person on the list to give us his speech and his thought on the program today, tomorrow. If you have the program, you are aware of the person that is coming. The person is to give us the interim alumni, addressed by interim alumni chairperson. Is he here? Professor Thomas Aduma Warrior, right? Former Dean of Students. Yami exam kasi Emma Prof. Ha. Thank you. That's okay. Okay.
Mr. MC, thank you. The name is Orai or Orai. In the eastern region, they say Orai. In certain part of Ashanti, they say Oraye. Even some say why. And the Brong Ahafo then is Orai. So the name is Aduma Orai, typical Bono name. chair of this gathering, who also doubles as chairman of KsTU Governing Council. Nana present, the Vice Chancellor, invited guests, colleagues, alumnus, colleagues lecturers, colleague staff, student present, and all other invited guests. Good afternoon. It is with great honor that I welcome you to this special occasion today. Chair, today we are not just celebrating a reunion of similar faces, but also the diversity of achievements and memories that have bound us together over the years. This homecoming is a time to reconnect and recount the achievements of our shared journeys. It is also an opportunity to celebrate those who have brought honor and distinction to Kumasi Technical University in particular, and Ghana at large. Chair, as we celebrate together today, we should not forget the foundation that Kumasi Technical University provided us. This is a place where our dreams began and our paths were shaped. May these events strengthen our bonds and renew our commitments to supporting one another and giving back to the institution that nurtured us. Once again, I say, you are all welcome back home. And let us all make this day truly memorable day. Prof. Chair, on this note, I wish to thank all of you present for being here. And I say, long live KsTU Alumni Association, long live KsTU, and long live Mother Ghana. Thank you.
Thank you, my former Dean of Students. Today, Alumni Chairperson, Professor Omane, Professor Duma Rai, Wasuti Mikana Duma Wan, Nieko. Hi. I say back in the days, but I want to call Form 4 has a 7. Who are those attended SAR 7? Can I see your hand? Prof. Enyem Wangwa. Pagini, who can haircut no call Form 4 ampa? Or Form 4 for haircut. You remember those days that we used to have men talent dictation every Monday morning. And students, yani etina kurasika krade, beko fuma kutuba nchini abe tree starch. Na ya share tadi na ya ntentan dia to. That was the only design. Ya ne warriors. Na Monday oba na nkasa wa elite waswa eshi. The question na ye bisa onye se wunim ba pressure no aka nkwase asem. Na ya bo. Na satem no demire na de bo ni panye key. Dom dia basketry no. Ha. Madam for back over school bia no ada for the grantoa. So baswa what the last end. Now I don't know the miracle that teachers have. Omura dem awa wada so no be who first. The teacher neighbor ko Mr. Hagan, Tremas, teacher so block B. Uriamwa was a grantoa was a stand up no sorry. Wana that said yaka kura winim. Joe was to say half plus half was yakotwa. Wow. Akotwa saying, Joe, ogu anymore. You call decreation, then we call it decreation, now we call it break. Then yes, Joe, now then I can't kotwa. Was me to crazy me so da you. And you know the techniques in no to crazy, you know. What the beer to any bumawa, who was sino. It will you cook to any buana yakotwa. That is the method. No when you kakrante. Womunye na is when you surplus. Ewasiye. Na ono so wato. Teachers, lecturers, we are grateful of you. We are what we are today because of you. That is why we celebrate you. Shall we give it to our lecturers over here? Adia bufukra teacher dia wo kire mas na ne ho nsan anya fe. De ne wunim ne ho so san ye wahi. Ba ne ho ofade ahu na na chechero na lecturer bi wa ha. Wo kire kwanti. Madam Ann wa ha. Oi. Oh, Madam Ann was sorry. Oi. Madam Mami who anim. O ma bunsam kese amano. Yeah, he taught me quantitative method. At the end, minim. Obanam gana nantu aruma fabi huadi. But I'm sorry. Lecturers, we are grateful of you. Yeah. At the end, me frajuma neba ma bre. Me cry me start school and I'm yiri until there be a pressure dam so. Mami so ba and na poison na me say no so ye de. Poison de ye mo ye turn well doom. Say a terminology. But what you know, when na hwe na nantu na hwe na ya so fine. Kofi abeda. No fan sir. In spite of all this, we are here today, and I can tell you, I have my master's from KNUST, and I'll be graduating next month, June. God is wonderful. Lecturers, we are grateful of your time. The next line is what we call panel discussion. Now, for relaxing. We are just one song. Now, for a panel.
Say already, oh my Mose, oh my Mose, say yeah, oh my Mose, oh my Mose, oh my Mose. Say down. Of my emotions, hey, of my emotions. Maya Mose, say, Maya Mose, say, say, Maya Mose, say, Maya Mose, say, Maya Mose, say, Maya Mose, Maya Mose, Maya Mose, say, Mose, say, Maya Mose, Maya Mose, 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 Maya Mose, say, oh Maya Mose, yeah, very good, hallelujah.
Bawon sem kese e makwa o maya de e da mo ase ba cho mo mpegya mo microphones na mai kwafo e da mo ase onyame won hira mo ne nyom ya moto e de amayen wo hwe o program no so a de ye dru so no e ye de friend say alumni reflection panel discussions. Thank you for the correction. Panel discussion. Na befre ye pro vice chancellor. Na or no befre imperium for ya prepare for this special discussion. Professor Abana Mpacho Brai. Na be you man for the yensem kese bi you emano.
Hello. Good afternoon to everyone once again, standing on all the existing protocols that have been established. Prof. Chair, with your permission, I would want to call upstage my panelists so that we can delve into the panel discussions. Thank you very much. I'll now call Dr. Simon Annan, President of the Ghana Institute of Procurement and Supply Chain. He is a proud alumnus of the university. 1999, that is when he finished. Honorable Amo Kamel, the Municipal Chief Executive of Asokwa, also an alumnus. Professor Bernard Kumi Boateng of the University of Mines and Technology, also an alumnus. Mr. Emmanuel Broni Bediako, a lawyer and lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School, also an alumnus. And lastly, Dr. Richard Owusu-Afriyie, the managing partner of Richard Owusu-Afriyie and Associates. 1980 year group. I welcome you all, distinguished alumni and panelists, to this important panel discussion. And today's discussion will center on a theme that lies at the heart of every thriving institution: the dynamic and evolving partnership between universities and their alumni. Across the world, alumni networks have become very, very powerful engines for institutional growth, driving mentorship, research, collaboration, philanthropy, innovation, and global visibility. As higher education continues to transform in response to these societal, technological, and economic shifts, the role of alumni has never been more crucial. Your experiences, expertise, and diverse contributions will create a bridge that will serve as a panel between the university and the broader world of industry, policy, and community development. It is in this wise that our discussion today is designed to explore how Kumasi Technical University can cultivate deeper, more meaningful, and more sustainable engagement with our alumni. We will examine models of excellence, emerging opportunities, structural and cultural challenges, and the strategies that can unlock the full potential of alumni partnerships. Many universities in the sub-Saharan Africa, and I can mention KNUST, which is our neighbor, Stellenbosch, UNISA, who have successfully engaged alumni to improve curriculum, networking, mentorship, and the culture of giving. Similarly, when we look outside Africa, we can see and talk of the Harvards, the Stanfords, the MITs, among others, who have contributed to massive entrepreneurial and economic footprints from their alumni bases. We are privileged this afternoon to have with us very seasoned professionals, all alumni, who are serving as insightful thinkers and practitioners who bring their rich perspectives from academia and industry. Your experiences will help us reflect on what works, what can be improved, and how we can collaboratively create pathways that will strengthen Kumasi Technical University. At this point, I would kindly indulge my panelists to give us a minute or two, a brief introduction of yourselves. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello. Hello. Please, can you hear me? Great. Thank you very much, Prof. My name is Dr. Simon Annan, alumni 1999. I did purchasing and supply those days, so now procurement and supply chain. The president of Ghana Institute of Procurement and Supply. I own my own company, Source One Management Services, Management Consulting as well. I have worked with the institutions like Standard Chartered Bank, EcoBank, World Bank, UN as well. And now, as I said, I'm managing my own company. So I'm glad to be here. And this is home for me because I've been part of many programs that have been going on in the university, and I feel proud. I think registrar was a year or two ahead of us, and we honor him a lot for his dedication. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you. Honorable.
Kamel. Can you hear me? Also? My name is Amo Kamel, second batch of Entrepreneurship and Finance, former Ashanti Hall Sports Secretary, a discus thrower for the school, an athlete, and then a discus thrower and a shot put thrower. And then entrepreneurship was, we were the second batch. So the late Mrs. Fuku, wherever she is, may her soul rest in perfect peace.
Amen.
I can remember there was this theory which normally it always motivates me. That was the Joseph Schumpeter's theory of innovation, that entrepreneurs are creative, destructive to equilibrium. So that has been something which has really helped me all my life. Any moment, any place I am, I always think of Joseph Schumpeter's theory that entrepreneurs are creative, destructive to equilibrium. So everything I do, I want to introduce innovative skills, creativity to make it unique from what everyone is doing. So that is what really did something for me whilst I'm here, whilst I was here. So always, any opportunity I get, I always remember that there was one theory, just Joseph Schumpeter's theory of innovation. So today, once you are sitting here, I always remember you. Go through Joseph Schumpeter's theory of innovation. Once you go into it, you understand things in life. Any moment, wherever you find yourself, you make good use of that theory. Thank you.
Honorable. Prof.
Hello.
Yes.
All right. My name is Professor Bernard Kumi Boati. Actually, I'm fortunate to have, I can see Mr. Pearl. He can't make me up, but it's good he can't make me up. And it's good he taught us very well. I also see the registrar. I did statistics, Kumi, and the beautiful, and I just sent her a message that is what she's been doing in the classroom. Instead of teaching, the students are admiring her. But we had fun in the statistics class. We enjoyed ourselves. It was a beautiful class. In fact, even this morning, we are still arguing on our platform because we deal with data. Cape Poly at the time was a very beautiful place. I have memories. Duabote. Was nice. Savior. And then there used to be some gobe behind. Is it a baby? Yes. So we really enjoyed ourselves. The university shaped us. It's made us who we are today. And we are always proud to come back. Probably when I meet Mr. Paul behind the scenes, I'll tell him the name we gave him. Thank you very much.
Yes, lawyer.
Good afternoon, all. My name is Emmanuel Bruni Bediako. It's Flynn. Come back after 23 years. Yes, I left in 2003. And when I was received by Lovia, my first comment was, I don't think this building was here. And she was confused. We are happy to be back. I practice as a lawyer in Accra. I'm a partner of Versus Legal and Advocacy in Abelimpe, Accra. And when I received the invitation, you could imagine the excitement and the willingness to be here. So yes, we are here to give back to our alma mater in any form, shape, and substance. And we believe that we will support today and that of tomorrow to be a successful one. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Dr. Usafri.
My name is Rashid Usafri. I did accounting here. Left in 1980. And at that time, there was a fierce confusion between Accra Polytechnic and Cape Poly. And when we went to write our CA, essentially, I was the only person who passed that exams, giving credit to Kipoli at that time.
Great, great.
Now I'm managing my auditing firm and also lecturing at Business School, Kenya University. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, our conversation this afternoon will unfold across 3 interconnected themes. The first is strengthening alumni institution partnerships. The next will be alumni mentorship, student development, and employability. And then we will end with research, collaboration, innovation, and digital engagement. Prof. Chair, with your permission, we want to delve into the questions proper so that the discussions can begin. Dr. Anand, let me start with you. How can transparency and accountability be ensured so that alumni will feel confident enough to contribute financially? And how can universities better communicate their strategic needs to alumni in ways that inspire commitment and collaboration?
All right, Prof, thank you very much. It's a very loaded question, so we'll try to break it down for everybody to understand. So first, we'll deal with the transparency and accountability.
Yeah.
Then we'll look at how can we communicate among ourselves. Transparency is actually ensuring that there's a clear connection between the parties, making things clear and to members who are part of the ecosystem. So this time we're talking about alumni, we're talking about the school, and how can we have that transparency and accountability working together. Accountability actually builds trust. So if we are accountable and we try to render the stewardship to the alumni, then what it means is that the alumni will feel also very comfortable coming to the school to come and support. In fact, as we sit here, we don't really support or fund a need. We find what you call an impact. So what is it that the school is doing that is impactful, that we have to come in and fund it? And that is what we call the accountability, the transparency. Let us know what the school is doing, so it will encourage us to come and support. All over the world, as you said, I went to Cranfield University in the UK. The alumni group is so solid that though they don't need our money, but the intellectual purpose that we render is so strong that you see somebody who goes to Cranfield and it's amazing. The Harvard, you're talking about MIT, but I remember the days I was working at a bank. It's a bank that Harvard. If you come from Harvard, your pay structure and everything could be different because you at that time went to Harvard. That what it means is that the bond between the school and then the alumni must be very strong and ensure that whatever program you are doing, you make it available. There's transparency, there's trust between the alumni and the school. And when it happens like that, we're able to come in and then fund it. In fact, the alumni are not just supposed to fund your need. What do you need in the school? But you have to find an impact. What the vision is now we are 70 years. What is the strategy for the next 70 years? And that is what we want to be part of it. That's why we want to come in and discuss and share ideas that the next 70 years or even we the alumni, because we sit here, I'm not sure any of us know the next phase or the next vision of the school. So the transparency, accountability we're talking about is how do we come together and work, build that trust, and invite us into the vision of the school for the next 10 years, the next 5 years, and we'll be able to fund that vision for you. When it happens, then the alumni becomes stronger, becomes a partner to the school development. So I see it as more of the vision, financing, and as against just giving the money, because we need to build, as we said, the strategy about getting the healthcare facility for the school. If that's vision, invite us into the vision. And when you invite us into the vision, make it transparent for us, we'll be able to do it. And also clear reporting accountability, reporting structure. It's not just turn out the numbers, but at least let us know how do you utilize the resources that will make it available. And then the next one is what we call the communication, Prof. The communication is very important. How do we now get the information from here to the alumni? Of course, we have the representative at the council, but beyond that representative of the council, what else can we do? So I think that communication has to be very strong. The trust must be built. You have to be accountable to each other, transparent to each other. And when we do that, we'll also be classified as one of the strongest alumni across the world. So that when you go to anywhere in the world and you say, you went to KsTU, you say, yes, this is the person I want to work with. And as I said, my former company, if you come from Harvard, they will employ you and give you a better salary. So the same way, if I'm CEO of any company, you come from the KsTU, to do something for it, but it would depend on the trust that we build with our alumni and in the school together. And I think that's what we need. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Annan. And indeed, there is a need for us to build a stronger bond between our alumni and the institution, and also involve them with the things that we need them to do, so that that transparency that we talk about will be there. Honorable Amokamel, beyond money, what non-financial resources can alumni provide to strengthen institutional development?
This one, I would take four key areas. Professional networking. That's one of the key things, because today I know that Doctor is a PPE expert. I can remember there was a program which was done for the whole MMDCs in Ghana, and he was our facilitator. He took us through a 2 days program on how we should do procurement stages, laws, and other things. So today, when I saw him, I said, wow, the network, professional network is very important. At that time, he was doing the presentation. If I knew him, there would have been a lot of communication during, in, and after his presentation. But today, because of Kumasi Technical University, I know that he's my brother. So from here, we can build it from here. And I just realized one of my seniors is a lawyer. We can link up together. We may have cases and other things. We may have other legal advices. There may be extreme things which I may need a legal information or a legal bargain for me to move to the next stage. He will be very important to help me. So professional network must be very important among the alumni. It's greater than money. Professional network is greater than money. It's than anything. Even in our political parties, once you have a political network, always somebody will fight for you. That's what we call a godfather. Always there will be a godfather somewhere who will look at you, who will nurture you, who will mentor you. That's what we call a professional network. And the second one is the knowledge and expertise. Then my brother's knowledge comes in PPA, because recently we have a BOT we need to implement. And then we have done the assembly approval. It's left for us to take it to the PPA for us to approve for us. But once I knew that my senior is an expert in it, I would have contacted him with it so that he will explain things to me, special ways, simple ways of doing things. So this is very important. And then the third one is making sure that infrastructure supports. As my senior brother was saying, I know that the technical university need a lot of infrastructure support. in terms of computers, in terms of getting us another school to help us in the modern way of learning. In terms of technology, most of the classes now are mostly online and then online lectures. So we need to help them in terms of IT related programs and IT related equipments. So these are some of the ways. Policy and advisory role is very important. Beyond the school, beyond money, alumni must help in terms of policy for the school, because as my senior brother was saying, what is the next step of KsTU? What do you have for the next 10 years? What are your short-term plans? What are your long-term plans? Are we inculcated into it? Will we be part of your plans? Do you have any plans for us? Can we help you to reshape your plans? Can we help you to mentor some of the students so that they get those things they can't get from the lectures, but once they see a mentor, they'll be able to study one or two things from him. So these are some of the important things we can identify and work on it. And last but not the least is placement support. We know that most of our alumni have a lot of, come from a lot of backgrounds, which they need another level to move on. So I can recommend that, my brother is an expert in PPE. So let me link an international company with him so that he will work, so that he will earn something and you can get direct investment into the country. Then he can contribute to Kumasi Technical University in terms of anything. So these are very important. These 4 key things are very important. Apart from money, we need to think of things we can use to help the school to move on.
Thank you very much. Indeed, infrastructural support, professional networking, knowledge and expertise sharing are all very good ways that we can use to strengthen institutional development. Professor Kumi Boateng, you are coming from academia, and I'm wondering, how can alumni contribute meaningfully to institutional policy formulation and governance? And what are the most effective fundraising models universities can adopt while we mobilize alumni support?
Thank you very much. You will realize that the alumni structure is not working. The university management will know. It is not working because we are coming from a polytechnic. And if you look at the panel here, we all moved on into another university. Therefore, you see that the love and the touch is not there. The focus is probably on the universities we all moved on to get the degree. Don't be alarmed. Now you have your own certificate, your own degree. The love will come. But your best alumni are sitting in this room. How you treat the students. How when they go to the library, the librarian doesn't care. If they go to the clinic, the nurse doesn't care. In the halls you have bland attitude. And then with the pressures of the students, they walk into the classroom or the lecture theater and you threaten them. You set questions that you think that would shake them. They leave the environment and say never to come back. So you see, it means that something is going on. As a former dean of student, a chaplain, I understand the psyche of why the people don't come back. So please, management and staff, let our attitude towards these students change. They are our clients. They are the reason we are here. And if we want them to come back, to have love, let's treat them with a level of respect. See the man who said he finished 2022. He is of age. He's not a small boy. And so you cannot treat him anyhow. I am not saying that we should relax the rules, Therefore, give them a seat at the governance structure, departmental level. There are some people who think that students don't matter when you are developing curriculum. Why do you think that way? In this information age, you may be teaching them, they have more knowledge than you because you have no idea of their backgrounds. So give them a seat. Give them a seat at the governance structure, right from the departmental level. I know they are at council. I'm in the university. You go to the council meetings, the rep sits down quietly and watch the government appointees do the discussion. And so you don't matter that much. Your contributions don't matter that much. So if we are going to be part of the governance structure, let our voices be heard. And the program development stage, fortunately, you have a PPE expert, you have a lawyer. If we want to be effective, I am not saying that neglect the professional grouping because it's GTech requirement. But you have people who have set up their own companies. How often do we send our documents to our own products so that in his company, he can say, I will employ them. And that is where the love will come from. From that, in terms of getting resources, universities are always looking at alumni giving them money, doing infrastructure. You need to bait us. Because if you don't, I went to Tamale Secondary School. I went to St. Anthony in Bantama. They will be pulling me. I am a Church of Pentecost elder. Those of you who are from Pentecost, we give money like our head is not there.
I'm with you, brother.
On top of it, I want the management to understand the difficulties, what is going on. On top of it, I'm a true Bantama boy. As I'm here, once I get hit Bantama, I have colleagues who could not get to my level. Their pressure is also there. Yeah. So all these avenues are taking money from all of us. And so it is the way you treat us. I also schooled outside. Every month I get an email telling me opportunities that are available. That is why I keep saying that management must change our mind and our structure. It is our responsibility to look for jobs for these people here so they can look back. Almost all the universities in Ghana, tracer studies, nil. We don't know where our students are working. We don't know how much they earn. So that the first year student, who is your potential alumnus, who is going to donate, you will be able to tell that gentleman that if you finish statistics, diploma, and you secure a job, this is your salary range. We have no such data. And universities are not interested. Do we really have a dedicated office for us? It's not just KsTU. My own university is like that. Our Scradia, we don't see them because they are mostly miners in the bush dealing with rocks. So we don't see them. They don't have time. So I want to plead with management and us. Those of us here and the students who are here are your potential donors and helpers. Put them at the governance structure, give them seats, let them be part of decision making. Number two, as far as they walk into the classroom, please don't insult them. Even let the insults be friendly such that they will be happy to be with you. But if at the end of the day, they are going to write your paper like our days, the guy chew paper. And that is one excellent thing I always talk about KsTU when it comes to examination and strictness. I don't know whether they have stopped. It's even, now I have the answer. The students are there. They are giving me, it has improved. All right. So this is what I want to leave you with so that you'll be able to know that, look, the challenges are enormous. But if we can all work together, I will emphasize on the point. Give us a seat. Give us a seat. I'm not saying that call us and make us vice chancellors, registrars. No. give us a seat. And once you give us a seat at the decision making, we'll be able to help. If you want to introduce, my field is geomatic engineer, I'm a licensed surveyor. You want to introduce such a program, or KsTU has a law, a legal issue. Do you even have database of your people? But you have an excellent planning unit. So you need that to give us a seat. And once you give us a seat, we'll be willing to support. And then you won't even push us to give you money. So I don't want to talk about models. There is endowment fund. We have tried endowment fund. It has not worked because the love is not there. Once the love comes, trust me, he is from OWAS. When they say 1999, you are organizing this program. They all want their names. Or once they have a strategy, they will put your portrait on the wall. And once your portrait is on the wall, it's money. So give us a seat, and the money, infrastructure, and all the other things will come. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. And indeed, we need to think of giving you a seat so that we can move forward. In your submission, it's very clear that we are being pulled in many directions to give money. And that is where my question to lawyer Emmanuel Bruni-Bediako is. In this dispensation where we are pulled in so many different directions, how can institutions cultivate a culture of giving among alumni, especially where philanthropic culture is still emerging? It's not very strong. It's emerging.
Thank you for the opportunity once again. I can see that my colleague panelists have almost answered my question in different regards. But let me give a different approach. So you realize that to take money from people or to get the attention of people in any endeavor to give, you ought to have strategies. And especially when I have had colleagues talking about the push and pull from other institutions, then you realize that your strategy not only ought to be top-notch, but it should be a bit exemplary. So I talk about two strategies. I'm looking at relationship-driven strategy and value-based strategy. Now, how do I explain relationship-driven strategy? Ties in with what Prof just mentioned. What is the relationship between KNUST and the alumni? But for this program, I didn't know that I was even in the register of alumni. But for this program, how Prof Abuna Oforiyaboa was able to get in touch with me is through the back door and not because there is a database. So relationship-driven strategy will mean that there is some refilling, there is an opportunity, there is a platform, there is the fact that KsTU knows me and I know KsTU. But where you leave the shores of this university and there is no such relationship, let's say abofra oben oni and a way abebesre. So where if you are very close to your mom or dad, you get a best of both. The soup or the meal, simply put. And so we think that there should be that relationship, cordial, citing, engaging, that will always want you to come back when you leave the shores of this university. Without that, my attention will be geared towards who is seeing me as important, who values me. Now we're talking about value-based strategies. How are we thinking we'll be able to get a support of alumni? Are we just thinking about the charity word, which is no more in vogue? In fact, A business person is only willing, a professional is only willing to give, whether money, time, energy, resources, when there is a quid pro quo. There should be a reason why I am giving. And so if I am giving a check of 50,000 cedis to support KsTU, I ask myself, what is the return on income? Or what is the return on that money I'm giving out? So now it is about making me feel communally responsible. That touches me, hits me more harder than just give. Now you make me feel that what I'm giving is also advancing a cause that will benefit generations, even me. It causes a person, an alumni or an alumnus, to be more inclined than to give. Value-based engagement. So your engagement should not be coming to me to beg or just to ask. Let me feel that there is a reason to give. So as my other panels mentioned, my law firm are the external solicitors for Accra Metropolitan Assembly. We work for other institutions. And if I do like 20 cases for AMA, I do like 2 pro bonos. You realize they are not begging me, but there is a reason why I'm giving back, because they are giving me work. And so if we see ourselves, the alumni members, as important resource, then a database will be gathered. You will always tap into the database, and probably we can do legal pro bono, like my MC said. We are able to review agreements that you are paying a lawyer to do. And that is money in the pocket of KsTU. So if a case is going to cost you about 150,000 for a 2-year trial, I'm able to do it for free. And that is value for money. Now, in doing it for free, your mind is not yet there. Do you know the mileage I will get in terms of my firm's name or my name? The people out there will get to know that this lawyer defended KsTU in this 10.5 million whatever suit and won. That is a mileage for me, though I didn't charge KsTU. So that becomes the reason why we will willingly also offer our services. So I think that when we are looking at emerging communities and their philanthropic nature, it cannot be departed from the fact that KSTU is obviously can be put into that equation. Because if we look at the alumni not being in a position or having the willingness to give back, then you can equate us to that community where giving is difficult. Now that you have understood the equation, the question is, what then are you going to do to make sure that we give freely and without struggle? And there are many models. My senior wanted to talk about it, but left it. Now, crowdfunding is even a model. And so if you just target me and I even give 50,000, and the project is 500,000, it can't execute it. But if you target 1,000, 100,000 of former students of this university, and each person is paying 1,000 for 100,000, that is what? Over $1 million. If you get a database of 100,000 and everybody is giving 1,000, then the project is executed. So let's take it seriously. The database, now that I'm speaking directly to my professor, president of the alumni, the database is critical towards that achievement. And when we are able to do it well, I am of the belief that we all will be smiling the next time there is such a homecoming. And I can see we all have the willingness to give back. And so that should be the package, and it will work well.
Thank you very much, lawyer. Relationship-driven strategy, value-based strategy. Dr. Owusu-Efuyie, how then can institutions ensure alumni participation remains inclusive? We've been hearing the submissions and we've learned that inclusivity is very, very important. But how can we actually ensure that alumni participation remains inclusive across different year groups, across different disciplines? This is a huge university, over 100 programs. How do we actually do this?
Thanks, Prof. And you started answering the question yourself. So the first point I want to touch on is for the institution to adopt a multi-layered engagement model where you can use year groups, you can use disciplines, and the rest. Now, in this sense, you can let every alumnus feel that it's important and his voice can be heard. Number two, it's important that we leverage on getting members to heal to call personally will be a challenge. So I believe that you can leverage on digital platforms where we can reach to a lot of members, and from where lawyer and others left off, the database that we need to have should be classified into the various disciplines and year groups. And like I think Prof mentioned, if you want a year group to adopt a particular project, they'll easily do it. When we say all of us are doing it, it becomes a challenge. So let's leverage on digital platforms to engage a lot of members. Again, there must be representation on this one goes to my president, Prof, that the alumni governance, engaging all shades of people to that governance structure is very important. Then communications needs to be segmented. Now, if you put a message across, when you talk about the young ones will be thinking about their career growth and networking. You look at the middle career, they'll be looking for leadership opportunities. But when you look for senior alumni, they will be more about legacy and institutional advancement. So once you are sending or communicating message, you should know the target group that we are sending the message across and target it to meet their needs. Then lastly, I will make mention of our personal outreach. Only yesterday, a mate of mine who is based in the UK, but he came to Kumasi last weekend. He called me and I told him, Senior, today, tomorrow, we are at KsTU for this program. But then, as we speak now, he's in Sierra Leone. Then he was so much enthused that he quickly sent me his profile. Okay, I'm going to send you to the university to profile you. By the way, you need money. Bring money and then also be a communicator for us. And all those outside there, actually make sure you get in touch with them. This same person, when he was in London, I visited him. The moment our mates heard that I was there, quickly our 5 of our mates were there. And I had to use the opportunity to also talk about KsTU. So in brief, I will say that when I adopt the multi-layered engagement model, it will help us segment our communication, leverage on technology, to help the university will be able to reach to a lot of us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I couldn't agree with you more. that we need to adopt a multi-layered engagement model, especially for an institution as big as ours. Now we move into the arena of mentorships. And Dr. Annan, how can alumni mentors bridge the gap between academic learning and industry expectations to enhance student employability? That's the end game, be able to employ our students when they leave the institution. And how can alumni mentors bridge this gap?
Hello. Okay. Well, thank you very much for that question. But before I go on to answer that question, I just also want to reiterate that the alumni are looking for opportunity to be part of the university. I think some of us are part of the university. And I say this because I'm the chair of the program advisory group for the procurement and supply chain department. So I have been part and parcel of that department from 1999 when I left the school. So my colleagues, I think we should be able to try and also engage the heads of departments, because if you leave everything to the school, the central administration, it will be difficult. Because I have a very good relationship with the heads of department. Every head of department that comes to supply chain department, I get in touch and I've been supporting them in various ways. So please, let's try and do that. But the mentorship, trying to bridge that gap is crucial. And I think that there's a huge gap between the academic excellence and an industry expectation. Why do I say that? If you look at what we are teaching and what the industry expects, there's a gap. Because when the students come to the industry, you see that they know nothing. Because the academic essay has always been theoretical. Given all the theories that we're talking about, how do we, as alumni, trying to now translate this theory into workable, practical issues for our alumni? Because somebody held our hands when we finished school, and I think there's also an opportunity for us as alumni to hold people's, the students' hand. So don't be in a position when we talk about the fact that these people, they don't know anything, because they need to have that experience, that translation of the theory to the practice. And I think when we do that, we'll be able to help them. In fact, the institute that I represent as a president, what I've done, and probably we can also learn something from the Ghana Institute of Procurement and Supply, we have about 50 fellows, and fellows are the senior advocate of the institute. And what we have done is to allocate minimum of 30 of our members to each of these fellows to guide them, to give them experience, to mentor them, and to ensure that when they come out of school, or even when they are working, there are certain basic ethic standards that they have to or they have to learn. And if you don't teach them, they cannot. For instance, every student doing procurement and supply is doing it because of money. And they say that, oh, if you want to make money, go and do procurement and supply, and you make money. That's the perception. That is not like that. People have done procurement for years, and they have retired, 60 years, 70 years, and they have not even made money. But because they had embedded in them an ethical standard, ethical pursuit, they have now retired honorably, and they are enjoying their lives. And these are the people we want them to teach or to impart that knowledge to our young generation. So that is what the alumni president and the team, or the chair and the team, should be able to do: identify in the people who are in the industry and try to now connect the students to them, so that the alumni will be able to translate the theory into practical things for them. Nowadays, there's a proliferation of information. Of course, that when you go to internet, you can have a lot of information, but that information is different from exposure. When they come to office, how do they even dress? How do they communicate? How do they exhibit themselves in the office? And I keep giving this example, and I think the last time I was here, I gave an example like when we're exiting the school, and Mr. Boache said, when you get a job, make sure that your first day at work, you dress well. If you don't even have money, just go to a Doom or Cantonment to buy a white shirt and dress well and be in tie, so that when the money start coming and you begin to make some money and you buy a nice dress, nobody will tell you that you have stolen the company's money to buy a nice dress. So that was an idea. But I realized that at Standard Chartered Bank, where I started my career, of course, a bank, they'll give you the dressing allowance and other things. But the exposure that I got there had led me into many places. And I think that as alumni, we should give these students early exposure. We have a lot of students who had finished school and they are staying at home. What prevents me from saying that, okay, I have 2 vacancies in my office and I'm going to use my money to pay them? And that's what I do. I have about 5 service personnel in my office, and I am paying them myself. In fact, one of them who finished the service, I've employed. And the same way we can do it, because we are all own one company or the other. So that early exposure, ensuring that we support them to break that gap. Because if you don't give them that exposure, nobody will do that. Then if you say we love this university, the product of KsTU should be top notch, so that that exposure we give it to them, they'll be able to move from the source one or my company to another company, a bank or an international institution, because of the exposure that we have given to them. So I think that our duty is to make sure that that exposure is given to them. So I was talking about translating theory to practice, talking about exposure. And then the last I want to talk about is the soft skills. Soft skills. We have been through and through. Even how do we sit in a meeting room to have a meeting with your boss? How do you approach your work? And I work with one of the white guys in one of my previous work. And what he said was that there are 2 things that employers are looking for: your punctuality to work and your attitude towards work. Punctuality means that they said you should come to work 7 o'clock. I'm there. So at the time I was at Standard Chartered Bank, my boss was living at Ayarifa or so, comes to office at 6:30. So if your boss comes to office at 6:30, what time do you expect to be there? Yes, so 7 o'clock, maximum 7, you see me there. I will be in the office, okay? So these soft skills that we need to embed or impart into our students as they come out. Otherwise, they come out and they tell them to work at 7 or 8 o'clock, and they will tell you that unfortunately they couldn't wake up early. And the young guys of today, the young guys of today, we are relaxed. I don't want to use that word, but we are too much relaxed. Okay, so please, it is our duty as alumni to ensure that the soft skills, teamwork, the technology, okay, these are the things that we have to embed in our colleagues, so that we bridge that gap between the academic excellence and then the industry. Because when you train them and they come to the job market and they are not employable, forget about it. Another thing probably is attachment. Okay, what we have introduced with GIMPA is that we are not taking these procurement students for attachment because the places are not available. We run what we call procurement clinic. And procurement clinic is taking the students, the 3rd-year students, through all the processes like a clinic or like what do you call a law court. We call something lawyer. There's those who study law. Okay, you have a mop court or something where moot court. Yes. Okay, so that's what we are doing. So we also have what we call procurement clinic, which is similar like the moot court, and then showing that how do we write specification? How do you do advertisement? How do you open tender? How do you do that? So by the time you exit the school, at least you have a base, and we show you the real documentation regarding all these processes. And I think that is something that the alumni have to do it so that we can continue to bridge that gap. When they leave here, they will be employable and will not have any issue. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And I think that you have made it very clear. You've laid it very bare. We need to be very willing as alumni to hold the hands of our young ones and to expose them to all the areas you mentioned. But Honorable Amo Kamel, I think I'll shorten your question a bit and say that how can we move beyond career advice? And that's what he was talking about, really. But in terms of entrepreneurship support and leadership building, how do we do that on these two fronts?
Yeah, thank you. Leadership development is very important as alumni. We need to, there must be this thing, mentorship, like alumni and student relationship. So we need to structure our alumni system well, so that once it's a lawyer, students who want to pursue law after here, we can link them to him, and normally there can be a special session for them or an incubating meeting for them within 1 to 2 hours, so that they can learn one or two things. Personal development is very important when it comes to emotional intelligence. Personal development when it comes to discipline, resilience, and then a skilled that's required. That was the soft skills he was talking about. Because once you get to the job market, or once you get to the professional, once you start the professional work, you need to make sure that there are basic things yourself, you need to build yourself. Like how you dress, how you appear, how you yourself will present yourself. Most of the time at the office, some people are promoted early because of their behavior, their performance, their attitude. So once you are in school, you must always think of that thing, how to improve it. And we have entrepreneurship support.
Yeah.
Some of the mentors are entrepreneurs. So they need to come and give special sessions to those people doing entrepreneurship and finance, enterprise development, and other things in terms of how to start small businesses. Because apart from you completing your purchasing and supply, your marketing, your other courses, you need to learn a little bit of entrepreneurship. I can't remember our time, entrepreneurship department, we did a borrow course. Some of them went to fashion. Me, I went to the IT class to learn a little bit about IT. Some of them went to auto mechanic. Some of them did a lot of BT and other things. It was in 1 year. It was a term.
1 semester.
A semester course for us, which we called it a borrow course. That one really helped us. And then there was this thing we were doing in entrepreneurship and finance. There was this thing we call consulting. They gave us businesses around Angrejum. You go to the woman, you take your time and tell her how to keep books, book record, how to make sure that you manage her on her businesses. So this was some of the consulting things we were doing at the entrepreneurship department. I think with this, we can inculcate with other departments so that they can get a first time hand on the job. That's a practical aspect. In terms of opportunities, now this government has a lot of opportunities. That's the National Entrepreneurship and Innovative Program. This thing we must encourage most of the students so that they can most of them, I know we have fashion students, we have entrepreneurship students who want to perceive or start their own business altogether. These are some of the avenues the government have put in place so that you can apply it and use it. There's this thing we call practical exposure. That was the one I was talking about. Mentors hosting, making programs like the banking sector, that district assembly, where we give opportunities to other people. I can't remember our time when we were here, when we were asked to go and do industrial attachment. It was very difficult for most of the big companies to allow us to come and do the industrial attachment. So I believe once the alumni are here, we can work with the management of the school so that we can live together, so that we can get some of the big institutions and big businesses and big government agencies. Once they want industrial attachment, it can be quite simple for them. You can talk to like Boss Ghana Oil so that at least you can get 10 slots for people to come and do industrial attachment, the district assemblies, the PPAs, the other things, the law firms and other things. Most of us need to divert a little bit. That one will help us. We can't be static. I am just an accounting student. I just want to do everything about accounting. Sometimes let's give them opportunity to go into entrepreneurship. Let them the opportunity to learn something about fashion, BT, and other things, so that we can do domestication or diversification in other things we do. Because we are in the university to acquire knowledge in all aspects. So once we have the opportunity, let's make sure we nurture them in all levels of our education. If there are other courses, you can link to them so that they can do borrow courses, which will help them. I think with this, we can mentor them into the future.
Thank you very much. And I like what you said, that the alumni database, we may need to categorize them into professions so that we know that if it's legal, these are the people we can rely on. If it's entrepreneurship, these are the people we can rely on. Professor Kumi Boateng, how can universities measure the impact of alumni mentorship on student employability outcomes? How can we measure what this mentorship you are talking about, if it's really working or not? What would be the indicator?
All right, thank you very much. We can do that again. It will come to database. It will come to database in the sense that I'll come back to those who are in, the students, when they finish school and they are exiting. I want to find out, do we take their details? So for example, final years, they have graduated, they have submitted their project work. Is the department taking the name, their contacts, their phone numbers, their email addresses? If we are not doing that, when I leave, you won't get me. And so that database, we must be conscious of it. Conscious of the mentoring. It should not just be you brought us here, then somebody sees our stomach, the fat ones, or our diction, the way we are speaking, then immediately we close, they walk to us, say, can I get your contact? It won't work. And this generation, like Doug was saying, they don't know what we call the elevator speech. They will send you a message, good morning. They have taken your number. They want mentorship. They just send a message, good morning. They are expecting you to also respond, good morning. How are you? And it won't work. So it must be intentional. Build. I know when we were here, we used to have industrial liaison officers.
Yeah.
I think it's still there.
Yes. Yeah.
That unit, probably together with the planning unit, should design something that will be conscious. Then the whole thing we are doing is at the end of the day, the alumni's love and heart will be with the school. Now, once you do that, then they must map. The statistics department should give it as a project to a number of students. Map out all alumni firms, people who are our products. Where are they working? Engineering can find that and they will do what we call engineering practice. So once they come to school, this is not go home and do attachment. We dedicate once they are in school. Engineering practice, they have 2 hours to spend with a former student who is working. So the student works there and builds that mentorship relationship. And in all our universities, when we are approving our results, I'm sure it will be here too because the university is there. We have a line called, apart from the departmental 100 and something credits, there is some silent line called faculty requirement. We all don't know what those faculty requirements are. It is not written anywhere. They don't do anything at the faculty. So we can structure this if we have limited time in terms of the curriculum and the credits, so that that becomes a faculty requirement. Faculty or School of Engineering, all our students will do engineering practice. So 2 hours from year 1 to the time you finish. Every week, 2 hours. Go to a firm, stay there, look at what is happening. Then we design a small reporting system. At the same time, they are having a mentorship relationship with the gentleman or the lady who is there. Then when they finish school, you take the numbers. Now, once you take their contacts, the university must be conscious and intentional about it. Set up an office. I know we have problem with clearance. Do you want to employ one person to be sitting and be contacting alumni when you need a lot of people to fill some gaps? Then you won't get us. So do that. Spend some resources of your own. Get somebody employed, only making calls to these people. Graduates, where are you? Have you gotten job? When did you finish school? Where are you working? Is it the place okay? Then the industrial liaison officers, it's not only the compulsory attachment. Visit us. Visit us. If you can't visit, make a call. Send an email. These days, technology abounds. You that where I did my master's in the Netherlands, every month I get an email. The moment I finish, they don't take my email away from us. But in my university, and I'm sure with yours, the moment the students finish, fire their mind. But that is what gives us leverage. The only thing they do is that, I don't know how they do it, but they attach alumni as part of your email system. And the same email I was using in the university, I won't have access to the generic university database, but I am moved into an alumni platform. They organize trainings for us free of charge. But once you go in, you support. And then the networking comes in. So that is the only way we can check it. The moment we begin to start these things, let's get the database. And let's dedicate an alumni office paid for by the university. Pay the person. You give the person requirements, KPIs. Get us the alumni and let it work. Then they interface with the global alumni. If we fail to do these things, trust me, we'll be talking here next year, alumni homecoming will come. Take t-shirts, dance, drum, go. That is the way it will look like. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Kumi Boating. I think you delved into the depth of our alumni database in terms of the information that is collected that we will be able to use to actually reach out to our alumni. I want to thank you very much for your input. Lawyer Bruni Bediakon, is there anything you would add to what universities can do to ensure that student development programs are tailored to meet the evolving needs of employers and industry? Any other thing that has not yet been said that you'd want to add?
Thank you once again, Prof. Let's be a bit practical. And so students most often take soft skills for granted. And that is where maybe I want to touch it from. And when we talk about soft skills, we're talking about just your human attributes and your interpersonal relationship skills. When you are a student, let's pick it from undergrad level, which I'm looking at most part of the students there may fall in that category. Soft skills are very important for life, but a lot of us take it for granted and we look at the main skill that we come to the university to acquire. You are here to read purchasing and supply now, is procurement and what my prof said. You are here to read electrical engineering. You are here to read the business program. But you realize that your communication skills are challenged. Your adaptability It's challenge. So you finish this university with a course, and when you start working and you are put in a particular office and you are okay with prof, but you are chained to move into my office, then you are given attitude. Because probably you've heard I am difficult. You are supposed to learn adaptability skills whilst you are what? On this campus. Do you know what is emotional intelligence? Are you able to intelligently coexist with one another in your halls, in your classrooms? Leadership soft skill. What have you done so far in your 4-year, 3-year program on this campus? Or you are doing a 2-year diploma? Service. If you do not learn to do some of these things, there will be a gap between industry and your good self. And so you finish university and you're out there, you'll be struggling from one interview to another. Because whilst you are the interview, your diction is important. You are unable to communicate clearly what is in your mind. You know that kind of challenge? You need to learn how to what? Say it. Because our official language is English, whether you like it or not. And so the interview will not be conducted in the language you are comfortable with. And so when you come for an interview and you are saying didn't did, and you want to be given an opportunity that you didn't did the work, I couldn't went. And we are taking these soft skills for granted because we are busy on our phones, TikToking or Instagramming and doing other things. We are no more reading. And so our diction is poor. We are no more paying attention to text, construction, expressions. And so you are going to always feel that there is a gap between yourself and industry. We need to apply ourselves, especially when it comes to soft skills. You are here to acquire the knowledge. There are skills. You want to be a fashion designer. You are the best of fashion designers, but you are not emotionally intelligent. So you get 10 customers in a month. In the next month is only one person coming back. And then you'll be complaining because you don't know how to talk to human beings. Even when you don't learn to talk to animals, they will stay away from you. Animals also have a communication language. And so communication, leadership, emotional intelligence, all these are critical soft skills that I just want to bless you with. And to tell you that if you learn how to communicate clearly, if you learn how to show leadership, know how to live with people, no matter how difficult someone is, I tell you, if you know, learn about emotional intelligence, you can coexist with even a lion. And so I am saying that yes, the university so far is doing well. Normally when this question is asked, we rather lambast the university about not coordinating so well with industry. I want a different view. I am here to proudly tell you that you are doing well because the university is aware of the situation on the ground. It is not more the times of the BBC people being in charge, the born before computers. We have Professor Jumo here, who is, computer savvy. What about computing doesn't he know? And so he's to task. He knows what the industry expects of us. I have read the courses you have online and I've seen all what you are doing. I think it's industry tailored. Now, when you have acquired all that knowledge and you have an opportunity and you embarrass yourself, you don't go back to blame the vice chancellor or the pro vice chancellor. So apply yourselves whilst you are here. When you have an opportunity to deal with prof, learn your courtesies, learn to deal with people. When you are saying, I will come back, don't let it be 1 year. People, when you are seriously doing something where, give me some 2 minutes, I'll come back, and that'll be 10 years. You'll not hear from them again. Manners. Let your skills speak for you beyond your certification, because your certification alone will not be able to bridge that gap between you and industry. Thank you.
Thank you very much, lawyer. And the importance of soft skills can never be downplayed. Dr. Usefriye, all the things that we've been talking about, I know that there are barriers. what do you think are the common barriers alumni will face as we try to mentor our students? And what can we do to overcome them?
The time constraint. But most alumni, they want to help, but they are constrained by time, professional obligations, family, and so on and so forth. So I believe that it's important that we structure the mentorship in varied ways. There can be one-off talks, there can be 3 to 6 months program, there can be virtual sessions that can be used to counteract that. Number 2, unclear expectations. Most people don't even know what to go into mentorship. What are they expected to do? What do the students need from them? And what role are they supposed to play? It's important that some training sessions are organized for the alumni to really understand what goes into the mentorship. The third point I will mention is about a mismatch. Now, if you look at, there may be a mismatch between the alumni expertise and the student needs. So if you don't align the expertise to that of the needs of the students, it creates really a problem. So nowadays, you can use a lot of tools like AI to do the matching to ensure that relevant needs of the students are met with the expertise of the required expertise. Then there should be proper structure. I quite remember some time ago, this same university, there was a committee that was formed under the chairmanship of the then MD of Goldfields and Gold, Mr. Reid. It was about industry, academia, relationship. But I was a member of the committee. The very day the committee was inaugurated, up to today, it never saw the light of the day. So there was a proper structure where the question you asked, Prof, but the onboarding, the tracking, and all these things are very, very important. But I lecture one course at School of Natural Resources, a department. Now, some students were supposed to go on industrial attachment. They didn't go. The report came, and these students were denied graduation. So we are very serious on some of these things. The students who themselves were very, very serious. I think times to some mentors feel that they are not actually appreciated. Once in a while, some certificates, certain things should be done. You have to appreciate their role that they play in this mentorship role. Thank you, Prof.
Thank you very much. One of the things that I picked is the training of mentors and sometimes the mismatch that happens. Unfortunately, time seems to be running very fast, and we may not be able to go through our third round of questions. But if I see and I judge from the responses and submissions, I know that in the next year, if we implement these things, we will be able to have a very vibrant alumni association, and we will be able to deepen the relationship between the university and its alumni. Now, on closing thoughts and reflections, we know that reflection is one of the most underused yet very powerful tools for success. This was said by Richard Carlson. And Peter Drucker also said that we must follow effective action with quiet reflection. From the quiet reflection will come even more effective action. Now, as we close this panel discussion, just one phrase or comment for reflection that you would want to leave with us before we take our seats. Just one phrase.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello? Please, can you hear? Okay, great. All right, thank you very much, Prof. I think the basic thing that we have talked about is bring us into your vision, the vision of the school, and we'll work with you along the way.
Thank you very much. Honorable.
We need to make sure we have a simple database system which can connect the students and alumni together for us to go into a global sense so that wherever you are across the world, you can access it.
Thank you very much. Prof.
I would say that we should invite the alumni that are in industry into our classrooms as guest lecturers.
Thank you very much. Lawyer.
Okay, I would say that alumni are no more beneficiaries of education, but we should be co-creators of the institutional value that we all desire to have. And with that, we all be excited about our alma mater. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Dr. Usefuye.
Well, as an accountant, when you talk about net worth, is your assets minus your liabilities. But on this occasion, I will say that net worth is equal to networking.
Thank you very much. And on that note, dear ladies and gentlemen, help me thank my panelists for leading us into a very wonderful discussion session. May God bless us all. Thank you.
Alumni reflection, no. Pajo, Omo amu free 1984 ha. The advanced 1964 ha. Okay. Yeah, we'll have a video to play, but more than my anyway. 1964 ha, 60. Ubi ha. Okay, Ayamra 70s. Do we have anyone? No. But 80s, we are sure. Ha, Prof. Adamu ase doc, when yami wonshramu. 90s. Ha, yes. Oh, Bumbi amu exam kesi ama 90s. Hey, yenya wababa akope. Number 2. 90s when yami wonshramu. Aye. 90s if you are near about 2000, then you'll be able, sorry. Year 2000, 2000 about 2001, 2002, 3. Aha. Oh, fine. Yadamwasi, Unyami Onshra, we are all part of the 70 years anniversary. Unyami Onshra. We have a video to play when it comes to alumni reflection. We have our lady who was supposed to be with us. But Bibinti Wantimia, but maybe Bika Krebi was here. This is from Ms. Gifty Beck, fashion designer of a Gip Beck. Yeah, Gibeki Fashion UK, founder and creative director, alumni fashion design. Or video view her, Yababe Bo, Now, you have to say this. The technicians, if you are ready, roll it.
System. And please, let's give it up for this whole program. Thank you very much. Please take your seats. When I got to Kumasi this morning, I remembered a friend who is also an alumni, and I called her and asked, "Are you aware of the program which is ongoing?" Then she asked me where. Then I said, "On campus." No, say Cape Poly. No, I'm so on Cape Poly. And then we got into the VC's office whilst we chatted amongst ourselves. You know, old students or the alumni mentioned or referred to the institution again as Cape Poly. And so I said, once Cape Poly, always Cape Poly. And that reminded me about a marriage seminar which we attended. And everybody was admonished that, oh, find a good name to call your spouse. So one woman whose husband had a bald head and was called Sakura by all, and including the wife, decided that she was going to adopt Darling. So she got home and then called the husband, Darling. The man didn't hear because he wasn't used to it. Then again, she persisted and called Darling. The man turned around and asked her, "Na me na ofre me sa no. Fam Sakura na ofre me sa." And she said, "Pa mo fa ye ke poli na ofre ye sa." Anyway, that was on the lighter side. I must say it is a great honor. And I am very, very privileged to stand before this august gathering at this very significant milestone in the life of KsTU. Warm greetings from my registrar to you all. And I am grateful for the invitation and for the opportunity which has been extended to me on this memorable alumni homecoming.
we are gathered this afternoon in this auditorium not only to celebrate the passage of the 70 years, but also to reflect on the lasting impact and the reputation that we have created for this institution, which was built on excellence, built on resilience and transformation. Indeed, 70 years is such a long time. And when I reflect, I know a lot of my classmates whose funerals we have had to attend. So it is no small a feat. It's such a long time. And I believe by the next 70 years, most of us wouldn't be here. So this is no small opportunity. And it is a time where we all must grasp the concepts that are being brought up and then do all that we can for this institution. 70 years represents generations of great minds which have been shaped, as has been demonstrated even by our panelists who just finished the discussion. Great minds, great ideas. Leaders were nurtured in these very walls, and futures were defined. K-Poly at the time was just a foundation for us. We got our basic training, and then we moved on and on and on. And the sky is not even the limit. So these walls, as we see it, has created a lot of leaders for us. The theme for our reflections, 70 years of transformation, transforming education, honoring our legacy, shaping the future, is timely. It is thought-provoking as well. And it calls us to look back with pride. Pride because a lot of us who started here have moved on to greater heights. And we have become mentors for others. We have also become examples for others. It also calls for us to look forward with purpose. What purpose are we talking about? We have had a lot in the discussions. Going forward, the relationships that should exist between the alumni and the institution, the mentorship programs that we can offer, and even help in building the health center that this institution is looking forward to build. And I want to add purpose, where products of these great institutions would be able to come up. For example, I read DT in my time, and I've moved on to read pharmacy. We are looking for a time where we can come back to campus to find a mini manufacturing center where all medicines that will be dispensed in the health center that will be built will be manufactured from there. That is what we are looking out for. KsTU has over the decades established itself as a strong technical pillar for vocational excellence as well. It contributes to national development through the training of skilled professionals and practitioners and innovators as well. And this cannot be overstated. Many of us here are a living proof to that. We have engineers, we have lawyers, we have procurement experts, we have a lot. So I want to encourage all the students here. Do not take your training here for granted at all. Subject yourself to the rigors of the training. And I believe that in future, in the next 70 years, when you are here and you stand here, you will be able to cite yourself as an example. I started off here with a certificate in DT, dispensing techniques, and then the institution was elevated. The programs became national diploma. I came back 1 year to top up to get the higher national diploma. After that, I got married and I had all my kids, 3 at the time. When my last daughter was about 10 months old, that was when I came back to do the top up for 1 year. And after all of that, I remember my head of department at the time, Mrs. Enimapia, called me one day and asked me, "Now, what if you're here? What if you're war? Cyber Cinco School." So I went back to KNUST to read pharmacy for 4 years. And that was the B Farm. I'm sharing some of these experiences, especially for our young ones to know that this is not it, because sometimes a lot of us, I want to read medicine. I don't get access to that, so I do pharmacy. And so you don't put your whole self into it. Whatever you find yourself doing at whatever level, know that it is a foundation and you can always build on it. So very recently, about 4 or so, when the Doctor of Pharmacy program was introduced, I said, okay, I have a B Farm, I'm working and I'm fine. But what stops me from going back to school? So I went back to school to do the top up, and then I got my Doctor of Pharmacy. So let this not be the end. In contributing to national development, this institution has trained a lot of skilled workforce, boosting industrial productivity, and has reduced a lot of unemployment through practical industry-specific training. And I'm telling you where I stand as a regulator, because I do a lot of visits to the tertiary institutions. I know what people from KsTU are doing. And let me talk about pharmacy. We've seen products of KsTU doing extemporaneous preparations at all levels, and at big-time pharmaceutical companies is there. So whatever you find yourself, please exert yourself and do it. As alumni, you are the enduring ambassadors, or we are the enduring ambassadors of this institution. Our achievements across the industries and sectors reflects the strength and the foundation that we got from this institution. So this is a time of celebration. We should celebrate 70 years. It's no small feat. But this homecoming is also a call to action. We have heard a lot from our panel discussions. I believe Pro VC has taken serious notes, and we are going to put it into practice. So the call to reconnect with our alma mater and to give back to where we were made from. A call to actively shape the next chapter of this university story. I have said I'm expecting that one day I'll come back with a health facility fully equipped and taking care of the health needs of our people, and even extending it to the community around us. I'm expecting that we will come back to see a production plant here producing medicines which will be useful for both our health facilities and to supply the health facilities all around us. And that should come from KsTU. I believe we have a lot of story to tell when COVID hit this country. I know that from the department, at least from the pharmaceutical department, we had a lot of hand sanitizers being produced, and we can go on and on and on. Let us not limit. I was particularly happy when I heard one of our panelists mention that don't box yourself in only the program in which you find yourself. In my days, I was in Pat Carlis Hall, and my roommates were institutional management students at the time. I learned a lot of the recipes that I cook with up to this time from them. So let us not box ourselves. It's time for us to rise. Look at us. We are surrounded by a whole lot of Francophone countries. What are we doing with our French language? You can take time off and then learn French. Un comprimé 3 fois par jour. I can tell my patients that, at least. So make sure that we are also making use of that. In fact, the world in which we live today, as we all know, is rapidly evolving. Look at our school. In those days, this building wasn't here. A lot of the structures we find around. So the university is evolving. And even our name, K-Poly, has evolved to now KsTU. So it's evolving. And it is defined by technological advancement, digital transformation, and shifting global demands. So it's important that our institution like KsTU will not only keep up with the pace, but we will also be the champions and the leaders, the charge. So it is up to us, Prof. Chair, and VC, Pro VC as well. Let us all put our energies together, just like Captain Planet. Wind, water, fire, go planet, and let us achieve that. So as professionals and as leaders and stakeholders, we have a critical role to play in mentoring the students, as has been said, supporting innovation. Let us encourage our students. A lot of our project work sits on the shelves and gather dust. It is time for us to be able to translate that into practice. I went to visit WA, at that time it was WA Polytechnic, and a student had been able to manufacture soap from the dispensing lab, which was very effective for treating skin conditions. She was encouraged, and so when she left school, she has been able to register the product and has commercialized it. And now she's not even able to meet the demand. So if we will translate some of our project works of the students into practice, I believe that we'll be able to move forward. We must be able to contribute to policies and systems that will keep this university both competitive and relevant. What are we doing differently? All universities are running the same programs, but what are we doing differently? Let us be able to carve a niche for ourselves. Let somebody say that once you go to KsTU and you come out, you'll be somebody who will speak French fluently, you'll be somebody who will be able to be creative, and so on and so forth. Let's carve a niche for this university. From my perspective in regulatory pharmacy practice, in the professional space, I have seen firsthand the importance of strong educational institutions in shaping ethical, competent, and forward-thinking professionals. Ethical. In our conversations whilst we waited for the program to begin, we realized that the youth of today, they are in their own world. And I was even told that some can sit on TikTok for the whole night and will not sleep. So when you come back to the lecture hall, what happens to you? This is not our days when you would say it's shabre. You know what we call shabre? Shabre is the Hausa cocoa with the kose. Because when you take that for breakfast and you sit in class, you are likely to doze. But TikToking, Facebooking the whole night, and you not sleeping to have good enough rest for your minds to function well in the lecture hall, please, it's time for you to take a turn around and reconsider how we are behaving. Ethics. We've thrown our ethics away, but it's very, very important that we bring that back. Because once you go to a tertiary institution, and for all the professions, ethics matter a lot. If I cannot speak for any profession, I can speak for pharmacy. And it is important that we are very ethical and professional in our dealings with all our clients. We've mentioned your punctuality to work is key. How you appear, how you dress is also very, very important. The future of our industries depends on the quality of the graduates that we churn out today. It's very, very important. So wherever you find yourself, for whatever course you are doing, make sure you are exerting yourself so that you come out fully and well-baked to go and contribute to our country. So we must therefore commit not just to celebrating the 70 years and celebrating the past, but we must be ready to invest in the future by strengthening partnerships and championing excellence. Let us ensure that the next 70 years are even more impactful, where the university can even have a workshop where specialized workshops. I know that even as the programs are evolving, we will have our specializations as well, where we can have, we have a workshop specialized to handle Nissan cars, specialized to handle Rolls Royces, specialized to handle, what are the names? Thank you very much. You know it more than I do. And let us ensure that indeed the next 70 years, we can look back, maybe from our graves at the time, because now I'm 60 this year. So in the next 70 years, 130, I know I won't be here, but I'll be waiting for you in heaven then. Let us make sure that those years ahead are more impactful. So in closing, I would like to once again express my sincere appreciation to the leadership of KsTU for this honor done me. It is my hope that this gathering, both today and tomorrow, programs that are lined up will inspire renewed commitment in us and deeper collaboration and bold thinking for the future. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to say the Anglo-Saxon twin word, thank you for your attention. Thank you.
Mrs. Cynthia Yeboa Minta Yedawasi. Yamu yensem kesiye pa emano. I remember last year, Mikoye MCB KNUST. Not guest speaker.
Welcome to the proposed Master Technical University Platinum Medical Center. The approach to building. The frontage. The car park. An aerial view. Soft landscaping leading to the building. The walkway to the entrance. Entrance lobby. OPD and the triage area. To the recovery room. An interior view of the recovery room. To the theater. Interior view of the theater. To the consulting rooms. A proposed interior view of one of the consulting rooms. The ultrasound laboratory. Ramp leading to the first floor area. The first floor triage and nurses station. One of the medical wards. A typical medical ward. An aerial view of the entire facility. Thank you for watching. An aerial view
welcome him.
Thank you very much, Emranche Hine. Nana, Chairman of the Governing Council and Chairman of this occasion, Vice Chancellor, Pro-Vice Chancellor, Senior Managers of the University here, the distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Ofa Yedru Suono, a alumni business peer. So I pray everybody to be with me. And Mr. Rese, you're very open-minded. Why I'm saying this is that alumni said enough can, as the panelists were talking about, we go back and forth. We meet, then we disperse. We meet again, we disperse all these years. Now is the time to lay a very solid foundation for takeoff as Alumni Association of KsTU. If you may recollect, one of the panel members mentioned crowdfunding. This is what is running advanced countries, and this is what serious-minded developing associations are using. If we get 5,000 of us committed, and we ask each of us to give 100 Ghana cedis, we can use it to build so many things. So it is proper we all get on board so that our contributions would be not too significant to push us away. Over the years, we have had quite dormant regional centers or alumni associations and an interim leadership for too long. Now we have a draft constitution for the Global Alumni Association. Now we're not going to have regional centers, national center, whatever. We have Global Alumni Association. And we have a draft constitution here. So, before I proceed, we are going to adopt the constitution today anyway. Before I proceed, I want us to remind ourselves that the university was established in 1954. So we want our alumni association to be in year groups, solid year groups within the global association. So we plan this. From 1954 to 1990, all alumni members within these years may constitute a group. And the alumni office and the future alumni association leadership would actually work on these modalities. Another group, 1991 to 1999 group, our group, So I'm back on the Ghanaian accent. So we'll have the secretary, we'll have the member, a member, one member who is in charge of nominations and vetting. That is nominations and vetting officer. Another member, operations and logistics officer. Another member, counting and compliance officer. So here today, we'll get these 5-member electoral board. And then they will take the proposal we have here forward for the next 3 months to get us our leaders. So by the powers in me vested as the registrar of this university, I think I wouldn't flout any regulation by leading this group to elect the electoral board. I want nominees for the chairman. This is the global electoral board. If we are online, you can nominate somebody who is in Kentucky at the moment online. And if he speaks to us, we can elect him to be a member of the electoral board. Or else, for speed's sake, we might limit ourselves to people here, then we move on. Chairman of the electoral board. I give you 3 counts. If you don't nominate, I will nominate. 1. And yes, please. Mr. Michael Kumi. Is Mr. Michael Kumi here? Yeah, Michael Kumi is the planning officer of this university, an alumnus 2002. I think Michael Kumi's mate is Professor Kumi Boateng. That group, they were shabre. No, ma being rough. Na me chere omo economics and social statistics. Me ba na man prepare o megu mani mase. Na me rian ka ho. But I am a proud alumnus and a teaching assistant. Michael Kumi is nominated. Any other nominee? As many of you in favor of Michael Kumi becoming the chairman of the electoral board, say aye. As many of you not in favor of this proposal, say the ayes have it. Mr. Michael Kumi, stand in the middle. He is quite a credible member of staff of this university, works in the planning office. Every complex activity of this university, we, the management, will rope him in because he is never a lazy human being. Congratulations, Chairman, Electoral Board. Secretary of the Electoral Board, any nominee? Where? So Professor Adumarai, the interim chair, is nominating Mrs. Mora Boinsi Amwakohene. Is Mora here? Yes. We want to see you. Please rise. Come to the middle. Any other nominee? As many of you in favor of Mrs. Mora Boinsi Amwakohene becoming the secretary to the electoral board, say aye. As many of you not in favor of this proposal, say Yes, Mora, the ayes have it. You are the secretary of the electoral board. Congratulations. Mora is the administrator for the Pro-Vice Chancellor's Secretariat. Very powerful woman. You need to be a registrar in this university to know such powerful people. They walk into your office and tell you, you can't do this as a registrar. Meanwhile, they are your subordinate too. And you tell them, but I'm the boss. They say no. If you mess up, it affects all of us. So change your mind. And I'll say, yes, madam. Mora, you are the secretary. Now, 3 members. The first one, vetting, nominations and vetting officer. Any nominee? Yes, please. Dr. Halidu Babamu Osman of this university. He is the acting director of Institute of Distance Learning and Continuing Education. Dr. Babamu, can we see you? Please, in the middle. In fact, when I was in the UK, I wanted to study accounting. I started CIMA. I got to level 2. Because my background was pure statistics, economics, I was struggling to understand some of these counting principles. Because mathematics is logic, you can derive your own stuff and get it right. Counting, they say no. You have to post this here, post that there. I struggled, so I stopped. But I've learned something from Dr. Babamu. When he's talking accounting, even if you are the daftest of humans, you will understand it. I wish he was in the UK to teach me accounting. You are nominated as the nominations and vetting officer. Any other nominee? As many of you in favor of Dr. Osman Babamu as the nominations and vetting officer of the electoral board, say aye. As many of you not in favor of this proposal, say the ayes have it. Dr. Babamu, you are a member of the electoral board in charge of nominations, vetting. Congratulations. Another member, any nominee in charge of operations, logistics. Operations and logistics. Yes, sir. Yes. So we are encouraging those from outside this university to present yourself or nominate people who are not from here. Mr. Jacob Amwako nominated. Where is Mr. Jacob Amwako? He's coming. Yes. A former SRC president. And my former student. Miss Sumaya, who's that? Mabuagana, papa. Any other nominee? As many of you in favor of Mr. Jacob Amwako becoming a member of the electoral board in charge of operations and logistics, say aye. As many of you not in favor of the proposal, say the ayes have it. Mr. Jacob Amwako, congratulations. You are a member of the electoral board in charge of operations and logistics. The next member, last but not the least, in charge of counting and compliance. Any nominations? Yes, please. You suggest Macklin to 4? Macklin is working here. I also propose Kabishranka Dr. Anand. Counting and compliance. Dr. Anand said, no, Nejuma does some rough. Okay, I wouldn't disturb Dr. Anand. Mr. Macklin to 4. Macklin. Because only her and can be used to me registrar's power. Macklin, come forward. Mr. Macklin to 4 is a staff of our audit directorate. Another out and out meticulous human being. Very meticulous and very astute. Sometimes he goes beyond board and or above board and become politically incorrect. But what can I say? If you do the statistical analysis on him and you give some margin error, he will fall within 0 and 98%. So he's okay. As many of you in favor of Mr. McLean Tufo becoming a member of the electoral board in charge of counting and compliance, say aye. As many of you not in favor of the proposal, say The ayes have it. Congratulations, Mr. Tufo. You are a member of the electoral board. You can sit down in charge of counting and compliance. Thank you very much. Now we have our electoral board in accordance with the adopted draft constitution. Now we have a roadmap that we want the electoral board to use between now and the end of June to get the leadership of the Alumni Association, and we take it from there. The proposer, here are they. The electoral board will work with the alumni office of this university to publish the alumni database. We have some kind of database sitting already. But if you had listened to the advice given us by the panel, you need to go there and tweak the database to be in tune with the proposals given. You have to publish an election guidelines and code of conduct. Then you have to activate what we call validation process. You become a valid or an alumnus in good standing or an alumna in good standing or a bona fide member if you have paid your annual subscription fee. So the electoral board in the interim would ensure that all those who are validated are in good standing within the 3 months given. And we are proposing annual subscription fee of just. I'm using the word just because there are people here who can donate umpteen times what I'm going to mention. People can donate about 1,000 times of that. Annual subscription is just 200 Ghana cedis, starting from 1st April. So for 2026, before we hit the end of June, and if you want us to see you as a valid member, your 200 cedis and where you work, your email address as advised, everything must be in the database. If you can donate more, why not? This electoral board will publish a voter register. Start tweaking the database for our to our satisfaction. This electoral board will organize elections before the end of June for us to have our leaders. The modalities of organizing the elections, we implore you, the electoral board, to present them to the university management for our consideration before implementation. We are partners, so we need to understand everything we are all doing so that we would all be able to help constitute vetting committees to take people through, people who want to lead us. Very, very, very experienced alumni members to present themselves for the leadership. Matter of fact, alumni associations require highly experienced leadership. I'm not saying if you graduated only last year, you are not important. But what some of us have gone through in life for the past 30 years, we can surmount every challenge that would confront us when we become leaders of the Alumni Association. That is not to say I'm campaigning for myself. No. I'm the registrar for now. The electoral board will decide on campaign period. And the elections may be conducted by virtual means. KsTU has the technology. It was developed by computer science students. Wherever you are in the world, you can vote. There will never be any cheating. As we vote, the system will be collating and counting. Immediately we close, we have the results. Our own students developed it. And then the results would be declared. So, Prof. Chair, in order not to spend much time on this, I present all the long talk about the Constitution and the roadmap to alumni members here and all our friends. As many of you who are happy about what I have done, say aye. As many of you who are not happy, say the ayes have it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ebenezer Kofi Boache, the registrar of our great institution. We are grateful for your time and a wonderful delivery. About your nominating photograph for records purposes. But your ready muha. Nominee, but your ready muha for a photograph. Photographers no way. Photographer. Photographer wa pia bontiana. Osro okay. Pacha omunya ntem na yento aso. Chairman na enyefe. We have our chair, secretary, and the 3 members. Omune beye adwuma no ediama yenyina. Yeah, photo. Wow. Photo for no benyin na ni achia wanyam na ni sa obewi ben sa kana ni ba ko. No kwa the hard ray. Mawi. Yeah, that's it. Hello. Hello. Aha, eda mo ase. Senior. Bo. Chaplain, but oh yeah, Methodist and Pentecost. Methodist and my menko Pentecost. Pentecost for what Dibia no more yemi pa. We invite you more what sorry. Most reverend ministers oba no na yiraba. Na oba na ma no microphone na. Oche microphone na software na yire ho ofe no. Obeti hallelujah. Pacha obonye me so hallelujah. Was me ba nyame nko anamba e. Minister of mama sorry no bia hu. Smomo munsem ni aboy nsmama no. Kunya software na yire ho otan. Hallelujah. Monye me so hallelujah. Was a brand ko actually me of mama actually. Ti actually me so me yimpenfo ni bia actually. Damwase. We are getting to the bottom of today's program. Mind you, tomorrow is the Grand Durbar, and we are expecting a lot of dignitaries, as well as the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. Our dear mother, she will be here with us. The regional minister who represents the President of the Republic, he will also be here, and other dignitaries that we are expected. Education Minister Honorable Haruna Idrusu is also on the bill that we expect to see him here. We have to sit and wait for them. We don't have to let them come and wait for us, which is not right. Prof, I started time by 9 on the dots. When you're Ghana for 9 Nibia, 9:30, 10 Nibia, 9 sharp. Okay, yo, Yadamwase. Manem ko teacher ni bi na otro application ko pa adwuma na yem frɛ no no akoe okwe no was prof me nam the application ba no makan am frɛ mti mi amaba enti won say primary schools class teacher ni obi na headmaster na akogina ho no ɔkyerɛ de enti akwa no kɔɛ no mo kyerɛ science no matro 3 words egu board no so First one, a temperature. And second one, a measurement. And last one, a name. Akwana ba ya say obo onye teacher ni pressure. Look at and kwan say go for the pass.
Oh, please, you may sit down. Thank you. Nana, management and staff, alumni. I think you'd agree with me that it's been a very engaging, informing, and transformative period. But as a policy expert, as I sat down looking at what was going on, I asked myself one question. One of the things that is known in our policy world is that when we come to the third world countries, we are very good with putting up policy. What becomes a problem is the implementation period. I see a very promising future. A future that cannot be achieved if we don't come together as one family to support the electoral board in selecting leaders, and more importantly, to support the leaders that will be elected to make sure that this vision that today we are seeing become a reality. I want to remind you of one word that came from my brother, that your net worth is networking. So we should always remember that it's very important that we bring ourselves together. It's only with that that our expectation today can become a reality. On that note, I want to thank everyone for being part of this, and also to remind you that we bring everything to an end tomorrow so that we can be here early. Pro Vice Chancellor said the time is 9, but we must be seated by 8:30. And I like the fact that she said it is 9. So let's remind ourselves that it's 9. And the only reason why I want to reiterate it, that is that today, because we said 11 and we started at 12, people might think that maybe we'll repeat that. No. Today it was very important that we do that so that we can get alumni to walk around country and familiarize yourself with our alma mater. On that note, we want to bring this section to an end and continue tomorrow. So I thank you once again for coming.
Prof. Chair, we are very grateful for your closing remarks. Yeda wase. Akwabi ne comment here. No kokata yen na no fom ye. And yes, we are 2 dedua. Was a mate. Ngofo no so betua 10 billion. Was a mate. And 10 was a mate. And Coco 20 was a mate. Snap 10 box was a mate. I am quite known as na akwa what me ana. Bibia mate. Unim sa himfi na won. Sisa mo keka ba mo wi na ma anya bia. Sa mo abobe. Yet also the next on the bill is the closing prayer. Nyame yednidi na shasiye. Yednidi ena ewie. Let me take this opportunity. Na Prof ayeni nyina nana odaroma edawase ene obre. Professors, doctors, lecturers, students, the entire staff of Kumasi Technical University edamwase onyame wonhirawo. We expect you tomorrow 9 a.m. on the dot. Alumni or alumnus. Enyamwa nkayeniha. Today's section was for us. Enti moma echna yemrantem neme gracie occasion no. Mo moye you can say discussion, panel discussion members. We are also grateful for your decision, thoughts, and suggestions. I think say Prof and impeding for Mafa, and they work on it. Students, no, university qua, combined student and staff. Technicians, without you, we are grateful. Cameramen, sound engineers, organists. Yes, say, CNA Keda ye in Yasada. But 9 students, most especially, any other invited guests, Yenina Yemra, na Yemeshim Ekena. We register a sample. Okay, you have the floor.
Dr. Wadaruma, please, if you forget and you go back for it, I don't think you would have flouted any law. We will final sign for fire in chi. We are encouraging people to join the Alumni Association. We talked about crowdfunding, but there is a praise we must give to a particular alumni member. Professor Kumibuati, we need to praise him. The last time we met here, he alone donated 20,000 cedis. He alone. Prof, sorry I forgot about it. We need to acknowledge that. I don't know between 5,000. So, Prof, God bless you.
Register the Minister. My name is another call for the Asiakrasia for the Omuton, so we are no far by it. By the Nefe Pie 3. Man, and I saw Kuku next carbon home. Far by it no be count 20,000 was it 3,000. MC was so bell now 3,000 back Kumienu, Omodeba. Omuya Bena was a recommendation na was a business said denta, Namsan Patch of Pensibu. The high and ton dental, Hapuna near the brown subnaje. Coco about where guys by that time is at 3,000. Aye. Prof, when you want to for your 20,000, you didn't say this year, why prepare more than that? And colleague, I think you have to take the crew from him. 20,000. Yeah, Prof, they say you free more. Yeah, every more. But yeah, Momonia is a procurement for Yakom for there be a human and Tessa. Sada now me and Hame. Aye. Yena Ebesia, a few way, Yena Ebedunity to support the proposed special edifice for the university. Reverend Alfred Atakra, University Chaplain. Oh my, the closing prayer. Yamu and some Cassiapania Sorina and Naso, Bribe Bompa Chato.
Thank you very much. At this moment, we are living here. Let's pray. Gracious God, we thank you for how far you brought us. You've helped us through and through. You shared with us a lot and what you're supposed to do. We commit the board we have elected and appointed into your hands. Even as they are going to sit down, be with them. Grant them the grace, the energy, the insight, and everything to be able to do what they have been assigned to do. We pray, our God and our Lord, committing the rest of the activities ahead of us today and tomorrow into your hands. We trust and believe that you will be with us and you will guide us. Even as we are departing from here, to share with our students our day, help us to do it and do it with more energy. Now unto him who is able to go and help you, be ahead of you and be behind you. I commit you into his hand, the gracious hand, to help you and bring you back until we meet again tomorrow. In the name of God the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Father. Shall we resume our seats? Reverend Yadasi, you can hear program this year. One of them pairs, we winning. Na inim. Or J microphone now. A rather good evening. Echina yebeto aso yebesi. Okay. Mebacho Provost, Vice Chancellor, Prof Chair, Registrar. Nana no mpacho ye twafoto wanim ha sisi Modaro man na we dem ntu ase. We page mu na munyina ma ba doc. Pacho munyina momra. Alumni reps ye wia yenso so ye betwa ye de na ye to aso ekosa Modaro man. Pacho ye wia invited guest money eye pro vice any vice chancellor registrar nananom pacho munyina mo ko council chamber pacho ye na ya kan nyina no ye betena ha ya na yenso so ya de samba why good entry management pacho money board no money mpanimfo ni metwa alumni interim committee pacho momra nominees pacho momra yeah alumni alumni board yeah the election yeah board na ECC and pacho momra now aha please when they are done all the alumni here present pacho munyina momra sroha na ye ne omunyina ntwabi alumni here present alumnus here present pacho munyina ho chaba pacho mamonko munyina ho alumni here present pacho munyina momra na ye ntwa picture we ebi betuma jirejina ni mu ebi nso mra sroha na yenya picture okay thank you very much me pamcho wa oba ha one registration no e ba cho bomodi but one registration wo gina hen o me no hen fa me entrance he but cho bomodi na ko na koko register we need just your name your contact number email address your place of work. These are the 4 things that we need from you. So please go out there and register. That's how we are looking at. Who are you looking at? What must we? Yeah, first time. Photographer. Staff are mobile nyina pacha momra for a photograph. Staff are mobile nyina momra ni mo for a photograph. Photographer